Are you a die-hard fan of tea like millions of people worldwide? You can love tea all you want, but first, watch this video. Because there are some health risks associated with excessive tea consumption that you may not be aware of. What are those health risks and how to prevent them? Let's learn in today's video. Number 1. Fluorides. Fluorides are salts made up of fluorine, such as calcium fluoride or sodium fluoride. They are naturally present in the soil. And do you know that fluorides are also often added to community water supplies to prevent tooth decay? Anyways, many types of teas, such as black tea and green tea, absorb fluorides from the soil and naturally have them as an ingredient. Although fluorides are not inherently dangerous or toxic to health, however, they can be extremely harmful to our health in high doses. Excessive fluoride consumption can lead to a variety of negative health effects, including fluorosis, a condition that affects tooth enamel, bone density, and cognitive function. Fluorosis can show up in a number of symptoms, including dental fluorosis, skeletal fluorosis, and neurological damage. While most people may be aware of the potential risks of consuming excessive amounts of fluoride from sources like toothpaste and drinking water, many people are unaware that some teas can have high levels of fluoride. Studies have shown that a single cup of tea can contain as much as 4 milligrams of fluoride, which is higher than its recommended daily intake. To minimize your risk of fluoride toxicity, it's essential to choose high-quality teas that have been tested for fluoride and other contaminants. It's also a good idea to limit your tea consumption to 1 to 2 cups per day. You should also avoid drinking tea after having a meal, as this can interfere with iron absorption. Before we move on, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. If you find our videos helpful, please support us by becoming a patron. Number 2. Tannins. They are generally polyphenolic compounds and have antioxidant properties. In fact, they offer several health benefits when consumed in moderate quantities. However, potential health risks associated with tannins are mainly because of their excessive consumption. And that becomes a concern when you consume too much tea. Especially black tea has usually higher amounts of tannins than other herbal teas. Tannins are known to interfere with iron absorption in the body, particularly in people with iron deficiency anemia. Iron deficiency anemia is a medical condition in which the body doesn't have enough iron to produce hemoglobin, a protein in red blood cells that carries oxygen to the body's tissues. Tannins in tea bind with iron in the digestive tract, making it difficult for the body to absorb this essential mineral. Eventually, drinking too much tea can worsen the symptoms of iron deficiency anemia. Not only this, but excessive consumption of foods that contain tannins is also linked with the inflammation in the digestive tract, leading to symptoms like nausea, vomiting, and even diarrhea. So it's best to limit your tea consumption and avoid drinking tea at mealtimes. Number 3. Heavy metals. Another potential health risk associated with excessive tea consumption is the presence of heavy metals like lead and cadmium. These toxic metals can accumulate in the body over time and have been linked to a number of serious health issues, including kidney damage, neurological disorders, and certain cancers. Generally, the tea itself may not be a significant source of heavy metals. However, certain heavy metals that are usually present in the soil can be absorbed by the tea plants. Some teas, particularly those grown in regions with high levels of industrial pollution, may contain higher levels of heavy metals than others. To minimize your risk of heavy metal toxicity, it's essential to choose high-quality, organic teas that have been tested for heavy metals and other contaminants. It's also a good idea to limit your tea consumption to 1 to 2 cups per day, especially black tea. Number 4. Caffeine. Another potential risk associated with tea consumption is the caffeine content. Caffeine has the ability to trigger the production of the cortisol hormone, which helps increase alertness and provides a temporary energy boost. However, excessive caffeine consumption can lead to high levels of cortisol hormone, leading to a range of negative health effects, including the symptoms of insomnia, anxiety, and high blood pressure. Tea usually has less caffeine than coffee, but some types of tea, such as black tea and green tea, can still contain significant amounts of caffeine. To minimize these effects, it's a good idea to limit your tea consumption to 1 to 2 cups per day and to avoid drinking tea in the evening or before bedtime. It's also important to be aware of other sources of caffeine in your diet, such as coffee, some energy drinks, chocolate, and others. Number 5. Herbal teas. While most of the risks associated with tea consumption are linked to black and green tea, but you might be surprised to know that herbal teas can also have potential health risks, especially if consumed in excess. Herbal teas are usually considered great due to their medicinal properties, but these medicinal properties can also interfere with certain medications. For example, chamomile tea is often used as a natural remedy for anxiety and insomnia, but it can also interact with certain blood-thinning medications and cause allergic reactions in some people. Similarly, licorice root tea is often used to soothe digestive issues, but it can also raise blood pressure and interact with certain medications. To minimize the potential risks associated with herbal tea consumption, it's essential to do your research and talk to your healthcare provider before incorporating herbal teas into your diet. Be sure to inform your healthcare provider of any medications you are taking and any health conditions you have. Number 6. Tea and dental health. You may have noticed that many people who drink tea too much quite often have bad teeth. This is mainly due to the presence of tannins, the ones we talked about before. Tannins have the ability to cause tooth discoloration and erosion of tooth enamel over time. This can lead to increased tooth sensitivity, tooth decay, and other dental problems. To minimize these potential risks, it's important to practice good dental hygiene habits, such as brushing your teeth twice a day, flossing daily, and visiting your dentist regularly. You can also consider drinking tea through a straw to minimize its direct contact with your teeth. Also, do not forget to rinse your mouth with water after drinking tea. Number 7. Tea and pregnancy. For pregnant women, tea consumption can also have potential risks. While some types of tea, such as herbal teas, are generally considered safe during pregnancy, others may contain high levels of caffeine or other compounds that can be harmful to the developing fetus. Pregnant women should consult with their healthcare provider before consuming teas or other caffeinated beverages. It's also important to be aware of other sources of caffeine in your diet, such as coffee, chocolate, and certain medications. So does all that mean that should we stop drinking tea altogether? Not necessarily. Some teas may pose health risks, but there are also many varieties of tea that are safe and even beneficial to our health. For example, herbal teas like chamomile, peppermint, and ginger teas generally do not have fluoride or tannins in them. They even offer several health benefits, but of course, only if you don't drink them too much. It's very important to know better about what you are drinking and what ingredients your drink has. And if you are a tea lover, try to choose organic, high-quality varieties that have been tested for heavy metals and other contaminants. Thank you for watching and subscribing to the channel. See you in the next video.